in the next few minutes, I'm going to cover grassroots fundraising for successful change. And this really has potential to be really transformational for our organization. I will say in my tenure, every donation, everything that happens is impactful, but there's something special about what happens when people rally their community and their families on behalf of their Nevis owner and the behalf of their family. It's really cool to watch it happen. And so I just have a few resources that I wanted to share. I'm going to share my screen really quick. It always puts it in the wrong spot to hit the present button. So if you scan this QR code, and I'm going to go to it and then put it in the chat. Well, I guess I can't put it in the chat. But you can go to this QR code and it will connect you with photo albums from prior fundraisers. It will also show you how Nevis Outreach can create a custom page for you to host your own online fundraiser. It will also give you some suggestions of types of fundraisers that are like types of fundraisers that people have had before. And you can see photos of recent grassroots fundraiser efforts for Nevis Outreach. So I always say, like, what is your hobby and what's your connection that you think you could stir up interest in Nevis Outreach? For example, we had a family in New Jersey just 2 weekends ago do a fundraiser with their motorcycle club. So their family's in a motorcycle club, and they did a motorcycle club rally and car show with that community that they were in. We've had another family that one of our board members, Andrea Bischoff, her husband is really into biking. And he rode across the state of Ohio in 2019, the entire state, 220 miles, and raised money for Nevis Outreach along the way. Also, we had another family that is really into running, and she did a 5K, and she also works part-time as a bartender at a local pub establishment, and they did a bago and beer day for Nevis Outreach. So the Ants Army has done several different types of fundraisers. Last year they did a spin class. So one of the spin studios in their area hosted a spin class for them to raise money for Nevis Outreach. And then there's another family in Alabama that has the coolest thing ever. I've never seen it before in my life. It's called a cable run water aqua park. And they did water skiing event. It's called Cable Freeze. They do it in late September, early October. And every year they choose a different charity to support with that event. And these water skiers come out and do all their tricks and stuff in the cold water. So the water's already cold by September, October, or cooler. And they come and do it in the cold water as a fundraiser. And Nevis Outreach benefited from that in 2021. So those are just some recent fundraisers that we've done. But it's almost like a little Pinterest board that kind of can give you some different links where you can see pictures. You can look at our grassroots fundraising flyer. You can look at suggestions for types of resources and let us know how we can create a personalized fundraiser for you. And then my next slide is just, I didn't know how many people we would have, so I was thinking breakout room, but with just a few of us, I'm just curious as to how can we get people involved in grassroots fundraising? Like if you were going to host a fundraiser or somebody you knew were, what tools would they need to be successful, and like how can I make sure that we're providing those tools to our community. So just like a listening, if you guys have any suggestions on how we could get people more involved or how we could ease that path for people.
So how long do you have, Lauren? When do you have to drop?
The next session, there is a little bit of a break. Let me just make sure that I'm not. The agenda is at 6:15, so 5:15. So I have 15 more minutes.
2 minutes. So Amy, if you have any questions, you go first, and then I'll ask Lauren mine because mine are a little different.
I don't currently have any questions. I just kind of joined halfway through this, but I'm just interested in just learning a bit more about what happens through the whole NEVIS or the NEVIS outreach. So I don't have a specific question at the moment.
That's totally fine.
Okay. So Lauren, I don't know if you remember or not, but my NEVIS owner lives in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And so we split our fundraising between the two, right? And we get matching funds from HP and we do it equally every year. Well, next year, our daughter is running in the London Marathon to raise funds for Great Ormond Street Hospital, Dr. Kinsler, right?
Right.
And so my question is it possible for me to use NEVIS outreach's tools to help her raise funds as she runs the London Marathon? Or would you rather I stick with outside and just use, Facebook with links to Carrying or to whoever? I don't know who Great Ormond Street Hospital is going to use, but thoughts?
I would be interested. So anything that's set up through the fundraising pages that we set up comes into our account automatically. Now we can obviously track that it comes to our account, but it would be really difficult for us to, or I'm not gonna say it would be difficult. It would be something we had never done before to then turn around and support. Like I would have to run that by my fundraising committee, finance committee. I don't want to make a rash decision. I would have to ask because that's just not something we've done before.
Right, and that's very legitimate because I know even for myself. So if the funds are going directly to you guys, that's something very key, right? It's not like a standalone that it goes somewhere else, because I know even for me getting money over there, sometimes I can use a credit card. Sometimes I have to use
well, when we did the Brock Hill Bank exhibit in conjunction with Caring Matters Now, we used all of our vendors for creating that virtual exhibit, and everything like that were UK vendors. So we had to a lot of times do some type of wire funds transfer or something like that to, you couldn't just mail a check or
right. So trust me, I understand. I use either Revolut or it's not so we had easy doing international transfers. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good to know.
I know that we have supported different research projects historically with NEVIS outreach. So we've done some things at the Great Ormond Hospital. We've done some things with Dr. Heather Etrevers in France. And so it's not completely unheard of for us to support, I don't want to say foreign, but you know what I mean? From
international,
on an international scale, but I don't know for a specific fundraiser if that would be possible.
Okay.
I'll just have to do a little more research.
And
kind of know how is the funds or what organization are they going to in the intermediate, as she collects them and then she's going to give them to Ormond Street. How does that?
Yeah, and it's Great Ormond Street that's sponsoring her. So I'm assuming the funds will go directly to them. But again, she just got qualified. They just said, oh yeah, you're running for us. So I don't have a lot, but since we were here today, I thought I would ask. So, okay, good to know. And
Yeah,
then, so
thank you
that'll
so
be
much for the question.
2024, and then 2025, we'll go back to supporting both Nevis Outreach and Caring Matters Now.
Okay, sounds good. I'll write it down in my planner. 2025, call Kathleen.
That's right.
Second.
back on Nevis Outreach.
So yeah, and we're really excited about the opportunity to just give people the tools that they need to fundraise in their areas. And this little collection of articles and stuff that I shared just a second ago is really a starting place. It's not meant to be comprehensive.
Right.
We want to keep adding to it as we can. And I'll put that QR code up again if you want to scan, if you're interested in seeing it, Wyatt. See if I can present again.
And all of that's on the website, right?
Well, this full collection is with the photos and everything from the different fundraisers. So those photos aren't necessarily on the website, but we do have them collected just as a fundraising resource here. And then on our new website, not sure if you caught that in a previous session, we're going to have a new nevis.org website in less than a month. I'm so excited. So when you go to nevis.org, it will look very different in about a month, where the design side is pretty well finished and we're just polishing up some copy and connecting all the things on the back end, like my email and automations and different things like that that feed out from the website. So, but this collection here just kind of gives you an idea of what's possible and what some other families have done for grassroots fundraising efforts. And then, like I said, just you telling us how can, like, if somebody was going to come, and is there anything, Kathleen, I'm curious, in your support of Caring Matters Now, is there anything as far as the acknowledgement of the gifts or how much communication is coming because of the gifts? Is there anything that's markedly different between our organization and Caring Matters Now? I'm just curious if we can take some hints or tricks or tips from how they communicate with their donors.
So it's interesting you asked that. The one thing about Caring Matters Now that I think is interesting, because they're England, they're a small island, right? So they do a lot of national fundraising. Like they're doing like in the south of England, this walking thing where they're going to walk for 5 days and you raise money. They've done one in the south, they've done it in the north, and it's very national, but they're small, right? They're not, we could probably do something like that regionally, but it's interesting. We donate through HPE, right? And then it goes through who's the organization that sends it to you, Divinity or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, when we do that, we've never heard from Caring Matters Now. Usually I check with them to make sure they've got the donation because they had problems with their setup. One expired, they changed their, but beyond that, and maybe I'll ask my daughter that question, because maybe they do more locally, under Royal Mail that they wouldn't do with us in the US, right? I'll ask her that question. I'll ask her.
Yeah, I would just be, we want our donor experience to be as smooth as possible and for people to feel appreciated, when they do utilize their resources and give it to Nevis Outreach. We want to make sure that that's reciprocated well. So I'm always curious, like, what are other organizations? Because that's not something as an ED you get a lot of under the, you can't really sneak around the corner, if you will, to other organizations and say, what are they doing? But especially other donors. And my husband knows if we get like a solicitation in the mail from a charity that we support other than Nevis Outreach, he knows I want to see that letter. Don't throw it away.
Right. Very much. Okay. I'll ask her and let you know. Because like I say, I think they're smaller, although I think they also have an international component of people in Europe
Mhm.
that they also participate. But yeah, I'll ask her what they do.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
And then if you are interested in hosting a grassroots fundraiser of some kind, this is another QR code you can jump on and just fill out a simple form. It just says, this is my idea for my fundraiser. And that just prompts us at Nevis Outreach for someone from our fundraising committee to reach out to you and either get your personalized page set up or take the next steps in making your fundraiser from idea to reality. So thank you guys for joining us today for this little session. And I'm excited about just giving people the opportunity and the tools they need to be successful in their fundraising effort.